Do you ever have those days where you're like, what the heck am I gonna feed these kids? Or even, what the heck am I gonna feed myself? And why can't food just magically appear right in front of me? Well, let me show you what I do on those days. I'm gonna show you how I make 3 super easy meals. And first up, let's make some pizza bagels, AKA homemade bagel bites if you choose the small mini bagels. You will also need some spaghetti or pizza sauce, vegan mozzarella cheese. You could also add in some vegan Parmesan here too, some vegan pepperoni or whatever toppings you prefer. And I'm also going to be using some spices, but those are completely optional. We're going to start by toasting our bagels. You can use a toaster, or in my case, I am putting them on a tray to toss them into our air fryer. This just helps provide a better structure to hold everything when you are finished. All right, so once we have that toasted, we are going to add on some of that red sauce that you picked. Now, you don't want to really do too much or it has a tendency to get soggy, especially in the middle of the bagels. And then after that, we're just going to top with our vegan cheese. Now, if you want, you can add on some spices. What I am doing is some garlic powder, some onion powder, and then a little bit of oregano. But again, completely optional. Then I'm topping with my pepperoni, and you could do whatever toppings you wanted on here, similar to any type of pizza. And then throwing that back into the oven or air fryer for a few minutes. Not long, just until the cheese is melty and it is heated through. And voila, you just made some homemade pizza bagels in minutes. I didn't grow up with a lot of money, so actual frozen bagel bites that you get from the store did not happen often. When it did, I could eat the entire box within minutes, which is also probably why it didn't happen very often. However, I wish I would have thought to DIY something like this at the time, because we typically had most of those ingredients on hand all the time. I could have just asked for like 1 or 2 things. However, now that I do know, my kids make these all the time by themselves. They'll switch up the toppings depending on what we have on hand. It takes like 5 to 7 minutes depending on what they are actually putting on top of it. It is just super easy, super quick, and super easy for them to do by themselves, where I can just be like, just go make this for yourself tonight. Like, things are tough or things are hard to get dinner on the table tonight, or we're rushing around and I need some help. And it is just always a win because it's pizza on a bagel. What's not to love? Now, let me show you the meal that my youngest would eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. These are super easy tostadas, and you will need tostada shells, warmed refried beans, vegan cheese, cherry tomatoes, taco seasoning, that's also optional, and so are green onions. Now, I start by spreading the refried beans and then adding some taco seasoning. I will follow that up with some vegan cheddar cheese shreds. I love to melt the cheese here at this step, so you can do that in the microwave, in an air fryer, or you could also do it under your oven broiler. Just be careful not to burn. Then we add on some chopped cherry tomatoes, some green onions, and my kids are obsessed with Taco Bell taco sauce, so we add some of that on there too. Now, that is the simple version, but let's show you how to elevate this a little bit if you would like. For this one, I'm also going to add on some red onions, some salsa, and some guac to this one, and done. Yes, my youngest literally will eat these for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack, sometimes multiple times in a day. She loves that she can make these on her own. She can use whatever toppings we have at home, and it is just always a win for her, and I love that for her. Again, these take minutes to make. Really, the hardest part is warming a can of refried beans. 2 notes on this one. One is also a note for the first recipe. You can't really make these in advance, which makes it a little bit harder. They don't really hold up well by the time you wait to like freeze them, so don't recommend doing that with the bagel bites. Also, the tostada shells will get soggy if you try to make those in advance, so it's really one of those quick in the moment things that you have to do with this. Second tip on this specific recipe is make sure your refried beans, if you are using it from a can, are vegan. Oftentimes, a lot of refried beans contain lard. We have a tendency to get the fat-free version from Aldi because it is cheaper than other grocery stores around here, and those ones do not contain lard inside of the can. Alternatively though, you could batch a big batch of dried pinto beans and then just mash those and then freeze half or use as many as you need at the time. That's a super easy way to always have refried beans on hand. Obviously, there's more than just pinto beans inside of refried beans, so keep that in mind. But in a quick pickle, when we don't have canned refried beans on hand, we will just use some pinto beans and mash them, and my kid still eats it perfectly fine. All right, this last option that I'm about to show you shouldn't even be considered a recipe. However, I want to show it because I made these all summer last summer and my kids ate so many of them and they take less than 5 minutes to throw together. Let me show you how I make cream cheese and pesto roll-ups. You are going to need some small flour tortilla shells, store-bought pesto and cream cheese, vegan, of course, before someone jumps in and yells at me. These are both the vegan options from Trader Joe's. Now, on the tortilla, if you can keep it still, we're spreading on some of that cream cheese first, and then a tiny amount of the store-bought pesto. Too much, and it will just come right out of those tortilla shells. Spread that out, leaving some space around the edge. Again, so you're trying not to get too much of it to come out. Some of it will eventually come out anyway. And then roll it up, eat it as is, cut it in half, make little spirals and say they're pinwheels. There's lots of options here. That's literally it. I told you it shouldn't even be called a recipe, and that's because that is how easy it is. But again, my kids can make this on their own. They're super easy. They're super versatile. You guys know I love a good versatile meal. We've done these with cream cheese and salsa. We've run out of cream cheese and spread hummus and pesto on them instead. There are so many ways to make these. Sorry. There are so many ways to make these that are just easy meal on the table. You're getting food in your mouth, in your kid's mouth, whatever, and they are just a huge hit, especially in the summer when you really don't feel like cooking. I made these so many times in the summer, it's not even funny. And there you go. Whether you have kids or not, these are super simple lunch, snack, dinner options, less than 10 minutes for all of them. And I really hope that you found this helpful. I don't have written recipes for any of these because they are just that simple. However, we do have a lot of quick and easy vegan meals under 30 minutes that you can find at my website, makeitdairyfree.com. So make sure you check those out if you need more recipes on hand. If you want to see more quick videos like this or quick recipe options in videos like this, let me know in the comments below. I hope you have an amazing week and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.